What's going on? What's going on, everybody? I have a few things that we're gonna talk about today. I am pooped. I'm pooped. So I've been out of town working all week and driving all week and working all week. And I am dog tired. I'm so glad it's the weekend, y'all. Let's see who up in here. Mickey Wilson, what's going on? 351 Cleveland, what's happening? Roydale, my guy, what's going on, bro? Chat Jock, what it do? Fam, Camo, Joe, what's cracking? See it, Louis, hometown. What's going on, brother? Bubba G, what's good? What's good? Squiddo, what's going on? Sean Dixon, all the way from Alaska, what's happening, brother? Man, so y'all know last week we was talking about. I don't know if y'all caught that upload. If y'all know if y'all on my social media, you probably. I know on my Instagram, you probably already seen. Um, we talked about crappie, the depth of crappie in the middle of the summer, and that picture I posted as an upload, as my upload picture, speaks for itself. And if you're on my Instagram, you seen what happened. It was crazy. It definitely was crazy. Oh, for sure, Sean Dixon. I'm glad you did, brother. I'm glad you caught it just in time, man. I really am. Man, so these summertime crappie, Yarley, myself, Yarley, and his wife. That's my family. That's my family, man. We all went out to the favorite lake and we found out some new things. We found some new things out. I would probably say I got a short video coming out too. I'm gonna put a short video out. So it was so bad. The greatest part of that day, my SD card was full from some old stuff that I had, and I was so mad. So I only got the beginning of the day. But we was talking last week. We was talking about how crappie can be in shallow water. Well, shallow depths. I won't say shallow water. Last week, me, Yarley, and his wife, uh, Camilla, we all went out to the favorite lake, and we was catching crappie. We was catching crappie 4 to 8 feet down. If you look at that upload picture of the LiveScope, you'll see it. 4 to 8 feet down. We about 16 feet of water. The crappie was not even on the brush. If you look at the upload, like I said, I also put on my Instagram, the crappie were above the brush piles. We in 15 feet of water. The brush piles come up to about 10 feet. But the crappie, we was catching the crappie between 4 and 8 feet of water in the middle of the summer. One thing we did find out when we pulled up we seen so many schools of crappie, but they was close to the brush pile, just not inside the brush pile. And what we seen that whole day, what happened was crazy. Every time we would pull up to a brush pile, you know what the crappie would do? I'm gonna see how many people know. I know a couple people here that got LiveScope. So I want y'all to tell me, what do you think happened to the schools of crappie that was above the brush pile or close to the brush piles? What happened when we pulled our boats up to the brush pile to fish it? I want to see who knows this. Yarley, what's going on, brother? I'm just talking about you. C219 Troll, you hit the nail on the head. You hit the nail, and we laughed about it because we was just so tickled. And when I tell y'all, it was at least, and Yarley would tell you, it was at least 300, 400 crappie. And we went to 2 different brush piles, 2 completely different areas. And it was the same way. It was a school of crappie. It was a brush pile, a school of crappie away from the brush pile or on top of the brush pile. And the school was 300, 400 crappie. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. And that's exactly what they did. Hugo, what's going on, brother? No, so I'm gonna tell you what happened. C219 Troll. So we outsmarted the crappie. You know, it's hard to outsmart a school of crappie. So what we did, Yarley was in his boat. He was on that brush pile first, and he called me like, "Hey man, this brush pile is hitting. There's a lot of crappie, but they're suspended though. A lot of them are not on the brush pile. There are some, but a lot of them are suspended." So when I pulled up and I dropped my LiveScope, he was like, "Yeah, the school ran under my bed. The school ran up under my boat." So what I would do, I shot my LiveScope over there. Both of them turned their chairs around on the boat, and we was fishing on side of the boat, watching the crappie just. I'm talking about they was in a feeding frenzy. I'd never seen it. You'll see just a group of crappie when the jig hit the water. A group of them. By the time the jig got 4 feet, boom, boom. And I'm talking about this was until we left. Non-stop. And I'm so mad that my SD card was full. But that showed us that in the summertime, a lot of times we think the bite is slow or the bite is slowing down. It's not that. It's that the crappie are running for shade. They're running underneath the boat. And they didn't know when they ran underneath that boat, it was an onslaught. Because I was in my boat, I'm pitching it to his boat. He's dropping right beside his boat. His wife was dropping beside the boat. So if we all dropping right on the side of the boat, looking at the crappie on the LiveScope, because he has a LiveScope also. So we like, oh wow, stop the jig right there. Boom, boom. And so we was working together. You know, so if I was fishing in the front, he was like, oh yeah, I see your jig, stop it right there. If they fishing behind him, I had my boat parked behind him. So when he dropped the jig, I'm like, okay, hold the jig right there. Like I said, we didn't fish no deeper than 8 feet of water. Well, we was in 15 feet, but we didn't fish no deeper than 8 feet down. 4 to 8 feet. And we caught him until we left. And I couldn't believe that school wouldn't even spook. We literally sat there for about 4 hours, 3 to 4 hours, one spot lock, 3 to 4 hours, just tossing the jig under the boat, just pulling them out one by one. They was never spooked. Every time the jig hit the water, they was running. I'm telling you, you'll see about 6 or 7 just run up to the jig, and they were racing to hit the jig. It was an unbelievable day. It really was. It was unbelievable. Now here you go. I won't be fishing tomorrow, man. I'm actually going with my girlfriend and the boys. We're going down to Galveston before school start. So we're gonna hang out on the beach tomorrow. Just chill out, just a little small getaway. But yeah, it was unbelievable how in the summertime. I also want to thank everybody. I know the names for sure. I know I seen Hugo and Yardley. I really do appreciate everybody that gave to the GoFundMe. I really appreciate it, man. My girlfriend wanted to tell y'all that she really, her brother really appreciates, and she really appreciates the help. So I definitely wanted to acknowledge y'all. I really appreciate it. Really, really do. But yeah, it was an amazing day. And I've heard Lamar also say that all the time, like, man, all them crop doing running on the boat, you know, he's had LiveScope since it started. And he used to always say that. So that made me think that's why a lot of people that don't crappie fish in the summertime, because they're like, man, the crappie bite is slow. But majority of the time what these crappie are doing, they're running for shade. They're running underneath your boat. So even if you don't have a LiveScope, and you caught a couple crappie on the brush pile and it just stopped, try to toss your jig on the side of your boat, or try to toss it not really under your boat, because you can't toss it under your boat, but try to put it on the side of your boat and see what happens. You'll be surprised. You would definitely be surprised. Larry Connor, what's going on? Fly Guys is in the building. What's going on, brother? He goes, yes, sir. My sister is living with that lupus as well, brother. It hit home for me. For sure, man. Hey, prayers out to her too, brother. Definitely prayers out to your sister. What is this at the favorite lake? Man, that favorite lake is on fire. That favorite lake on fire, Hugo. It's on fire. Honestly, and I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I won't put the sizes, because I know, of course they got Mississippi, got some lakes that's unbelievable. Then, Northeast Texas got some unbelievable crappie lakes also. So I wouldn't say the size wise is big, but I would definitely put that lake up against any crappie lake in the nation with consistency. When it comes to consistency, a consistent jig bite for crappie, I'll put that lake up against any lake in the nation. Donnell, what's going on? Lamar said had to take a couple lemons out of the favorite lake today. Got a trip, man. I already know you went there. I already know what time. I'm going to hit you up. I already know it went down. I know it went down. I'm telling y'all, that lake on fire right now. That's the greatest summertime lake I've ever been to in my life. VHF, what's going on, brother? He said, AKA Mr. Go Slab or Go Home. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. For sure. Now, I'm telling y'all. So what we was talking about, what you always used to say all the time about how you used to see the crappie run up under the boat. in the summertime, and that's exactly what happened. But we had a game plan for them. When we put up to the brush pile, we seen that school of crappie. We're like, man, it's at least 300 or 400 crappie. And I'm talking about that bite never slowed down. I'll probably say our jigs wasn't in the water for maybe 5 to 10 seconds before we was getting the bite every time. Bloop, 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 bloop. And it was just, we just started laughing like, this is an unbelievable day. This is an epic day. And it's all because, thanks for both of us having LiveScope, we seen what happened. When we first pulled up, they were suspended over the brush pile. That's the picture that's in the upload. They were suspended above the brush pile. We caught a few. All of a sudden, the whole school just shifted up on the boat, and they just sat there. And I'm telling y'all, I've never in my life seen crappie not being spooky. These crappie were not spooky at all. We sit there plucking them out. I'll pluck one out. Y'all will pluck one out. His wife will pluck, like we're all just plucking them out, back to back to back. And the school just sat there on the boat. The only thing the school did went from the left side of the boat to the right side of the boat. Left side of the boat, right. And so that's all I was doing. So I'm in my boat. And what I'll do, I fish on this side. I get on my trolling motor, bag up, go to this side. And they'll, about every 30 minutes, they were just shifting to sides. And that's all I was doing, tossing that jig up to the side of the boat. And they were just turned around, dropping a jig on the side of the boat. And we were just plucking them up. I'm talking about those crappie in those schools were so aggressive. It was amazing to see those crappie on LiveScope hiding under the boat. And when they seen that jig, how, like I said, it was 5 or 6 of them just racing to that jig. And they weren't scared to hit it. It was unbelievable. It had got so hot out there that we just gave up. We just, okay, it's time to go. Like, we left it biting. It was just unbelievable. It was unbelievable. John Burnett, what's going on? Lamar said, I found them slabs out in New Mexico. They probably untouched out there. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. They untouched, for sure. Kevin Walker, what's going on? What's going on? Donnell, you find them slabs out there, boy, you might find you a treasure. You might be catching 3-4 pound crappie out there in New Mexico. Did you have a drop size? I have 1/16. That's all I was doing, Sean Dixon. A regular 1/16 jig. That was it. I used only 2 colors the whole day. In the morning, I had my orange head, black body with the turkey feather tail. And in the afternoon, I had my all gray. Only 2 jigs I used the whole day. No, I mean, I didn't have to. I only changed to that all gray just because I wanted to see were those crappie hungry enough to hit, another color. Because I knew they was locked in on that first color. And so I went to an all gray because y'all know that's my favorite color, and I haven't fished with it for a while. I said, let me see if they're gonna hit this all gray. And they didn't slow down on. They went crazy for that all gray. So, but now, Sean Dixon, it was just a regular 1/16 jig, brother. That's all I use. Like I said, I'll probably say 90% of the time I crappie fish. That's what I use in 1/16. That's my favorite. That's my favorite size jig. It's that 1/16, and that's mostly what I sell on 1/16. I have a few 1/8 and a few 1/32, but for the most part, 1/16. That 1/16 was putting that work in. Sickle hook. Y'all know I love the sickle hook, so I made this one right here. I want to play with this color next time I go fishing. I want to play with this. This is a gold with some, I don't know what color flashing this is, like some pink pearl flashing. Gray and black all day. Oh yeah, for sure. Okay, that's the natural color. Natural colors, man. I really believe natural colors will work anywhere. They might not bite a lot, but you'll definitely get bites on natural colors. Black, gray, even white. Believe it or not, white and black in muddy water, real muddy water, definitely works good. I've seen it and I've done it. It definitely works good. Gray and black is one of my favorite colors. For sure, brother. That gray that's my number 1 jig. I don't care where I go. And I haven't used it a lot this year because I've been playing with other colors. So that's why I dropped that all gray in, and it was unbelievable. But I got on live to say this. Do you braid? That's all I use. 8 pound, 8 to 10. Actually, I switched up to 10 now. I mostly use 8, but I've been switching lately to 10 pound braid. Low vis line, low vis braid. I don't like the high vis braid. I don't like the multicolored braid. I use low vis, either a low vis gray or a low vis green braid, 8 to 10 pounds. Milton Steel, that's not even a fact. That is a big fact. That is a big fact. Blue and white is. I'm gonna tell you that blue and white with the little chartreuse on it. That's a killer color. The blue and white is definitely a killer color. I agree. I use Cash King. I used to use Cash King. Cash King was what I used for since 2014. I've been using Cash King 8 pound braid. Now it used to be like $3, $4 for 150 yards, and now they done went up to like $9 for 150 yards. Cash King. So I switched over to this just some braid I found on eBay. I ain't tried it yet. This is some Lures Pro Lures Pro super braided line. This is some 10 pound. Y'all see low vis gray. It's a low vis gray, 10 pound. I'm gonna try it out. It's just something cheap that I found on. So you get 328 yards. I think it was like $8 or $9 on eBay. So this 328 yards. Now Cash King is on the 150 yards, and you paying the same price. So I'm getting more than double the amount of line for the same price I'll pay for 150 yards. So I haven't tried it yet, but that's my new thing. I'm gonna go with it. I went to 10 pound. What I did see, this 10 pound is thinner than the Cash King 8 pound. The Cash King 8 pound is 0.08 millimeters for the 8 pound. This is 0.07 millimeters for 10 pound. So I see this is even thinner, and it should be stronger, but I haven't used it yet. So I'm gonna see how that goes with that new line. Mr. Bell said, do you have an issue seeing your jigs on your LiveScope, or do you put a split shot? No split shot, no nothing. Straight 1/16 jig, straight braid, no nothing else. All I got is I got regular braid. Well, I got 8 to 10 pound braid. I got a 1/16 jig. I don't use nothing else, and I see it easily. I also got it on a pole too, so that might make a difference. I got it on the pole, so I can really. I got it locked in to where whichever angle my pole is showing, that's the angle that the transducer is shooting. So all I know, if I drop my jig right in front of that pole, I can see it. Or whatever's in front of that pole, I can see. I know exactly the direction I need to put my jig at. So I haven't had an issue though with that 1/16. I put a 1/32 on. I seen the 1/32 jig real clear. Just as clear I seen the 1/16 jig. So I don't even use no lead shot, no split shot, no nothing. I just use strictly straight braid. Roy Dale said, Ken, do you use a leader? No, sir. I'm a straight braid guy. I got the braid. I got the rod and the reel. I got the braid coming out, and I got a jig tied onto it with a polymer knot. Only knot I use. I don't use no other knot. Straight braid, polymer knot. That's all I use. I don't put on the leader. I don't put on lead shot, split shots. I don't use no other kind of line. I use low vis braid, either 8 pounds or 10 pounds. Straight braid to the jig. And a lot of people might say that it's not true, but I promise you will feel everything when you have a straight braid to a jig. You can feel yourself going through brush piles. You can feel every little nick. Because, sometimes them crappie, they just want to tick it like a little brim. Like them bluegill, them small bluegill be ticking at a nibble. Sometimes you don't feel that thump, it's just a tick. And last week, I caught a lot of crappie. Of course, by using the LiveScope, but because of that tick. That's all I was hearing was a tick. And I'll just make sure I didn't break some crack on my laptop. But I heard it. I only felt that tick. But with that straight braid to a jig, you're going to feel that. You might feel a little bit too much, but I'm used to it because that's the only way I've ever fished vertical jig is straight braid to a jig. But you feel a lot more, in my opinion. Most of your lakes down here clear. We don't have no lakes down here that's clear. Zero. All the lakes down here are either going to be muddy, chocolate milk muddy, or they're going to be, they're going to be murky with a little greenish tint to it, like a little greenish tint. But we have no clear lakes that I know of that I fish down here. And I fished about 4 to 5 lakes consistently, and I know they ain't never been clear. So no, not to my knowledge, we don't have no clear lakes down here. They're either muddy. Well, we have one lake that's gonna be muddy, but the rest of the lakes they're either got like that murky bluish green tint to, or like a little real light brown tint. But no, we don't have no clear lakes down here at all. So like, oh yeah, but what I was saying was this LiveScope is amazing. Like when me and Yarla, we was in the boat fishing, and we was talking about it, and I was just like, man, this thing is amazing. Like they were just laughing because they've been had their LiveScope, and we just had a great time. We was amazed at how you can literally see 300 or 400 crappie in a school run up under a boat and literally sit there and just get. It was honestly like catching fish in a barrel. Like we was fishing in a barrel because those crappie did not move from under that boat, and all we had to do was drop a jig beside the boat, and they just rushed up to it. And we caught some nice, like I'm talking about some nice, pound and a half, pound 1.75, pound and a quarter. We caught some good slabs, and the school never died down. And what we seen, the longer we stayed there, the more crappie came to that school, because a big brush pile right there by it. And we would watch the crappie run off that brush pile and run up in the school. And so we'll pluck about 20 out of there, and we'll watch it refill with 20 more crappie. Like it was unbelievable. Like it was just shocking how in the middle of the summer we only fishing 4 to 8 feet down in 15 feet of water, and those crappie weren't spooked, and like it was a field day. You could have had, that was the best time for a beginner that's not used to vertical jigging. They would have caught a limit that day. That's how the crappie was biting. All they had to do was drop their jig down by the boat. The crappie was hiding under the boat, and you would have caught them until you got tired. And it was just that easy, just that simple. Hugo said, "Glad you decided to pull the trigger, brother. Definitely worth every penny." It is, man. It is, and like I said, the only reason why I didn't earlier was because I was waiting on Humminbird to see what they was gonna drop, and I wasn't impressed. Which I mean, they got a couple new videos out, and it does look better. But excuse me, but I honestly don't think that they're really gonna be up to Garmin's level when it comes to that live. Mr. Bell said that LiveScope is fantastic. You're right, Kenny. It gives you so much insight on how they act, and that's what I always told people, because you used to always hear people say, "Oh man, the LiveScope ain't this, the LiveScope ain't that, the LiveScope cheating," and it ain't that. Even with LiveScope, that don't mean you're gonna catch fish. It just saves time. It saves a lot of time, and it teaches you, if you allow it to, it'll teach you how these crappie act in different seasons. And for the longest, like I said, for the longest, you hear Lamar say that all the time. Man, them crappie ran up under my boat so fast I couldn't get to them. They was just under my boat, wouldn't leave them under my boat. And I actually visually seen that happen. But just so happened they weren't under my boat. They was under Yardley's boat. And we all just had a field day. It was like his boat was basically a floating dock. That's what we called it. We said, man, this is like a floating dock. These crappie just sitting under here letting us pluck them away, and they won't leave. They just sitting there like, okay, just take us all. It was unbelievable though. It really was unbelievable. But that's another thing that shows you, because if you got regular down imaging, you would have never known that. Like regular down imaging, you wouldn't have known that the crappie ran up under your boat. You would have never known. You know, you would have had side image, you would have had down imaging. Yes, but you don't have behind imaging. So you wouldn't be able to look behind you and know that where the crappie went, man. I don't see no more crappie. They under your boat. 300 or 400 of them just sitting under your boat. So next time, if you're on a good pile in the middle of the summer, you're on a good pile, and you catch 4 or 5 back to back, and they all of a sudden just stop biting, try to pitch your jig on the side of your boat. Let it slide down the side of your boat and hold it, whatever, hold it. Don't put it out to the bottom. But, try that 4 to 10 feet. Like I said, we were 4 to 8 feet. Try 4 to 10 feet down and see what happens. I guarantee you, majority of the time, that's what these crappie are doing in the summertime. They're just running up under the boat. They're looking for their shade. They see shade, they run up under it, and they gonna sit there and let you pluck them away. Like they just sitting there like, okay, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go meet my maker. It was so crazy. It was unbelievable. Then Jeff said, when are you going to tell us what your secret color is? Um, like I said, my number one color last time I went out was orange head, black body with this turkey feather tail. That was my number one color that morning. And by the afternoon, I was with an all gray. I was fishing all gray. Uh, what I will do though, I want to wait till the end of the year. At the end of the year, I'm going to do I'm gonna do my top 6 jigs for the year. That's what I want to do. That's why I'm tying different colors, trying to see how many crappie can I catch on certain colors. And at the end of the year, I'm gonna do a video just to let y'all know 2021 top colors, top 6 color jigs, 6 top color, my top 6 jigs of 2021. I'm gonna probably drop that video in December, if Lord's willing. But yeah, y'all know I love my gray. So when I see a school of crappie, of course I want to throw a natural color out there. So I said, let me throw, after a while I wanted to throw the gray, and I honestly, with how aggressive that school of crappie was, I honestly think I could have threw any color out there and they would have hit it. Honestly, it's just my opinion. They would just, because when I'm looking at the LiveScope and I watched that jig hit the water and I watched it drop, by the time it hit 4 feet, like I said, it was 5 or 6 crappie running up to that jig. Like they was trying to beat each other. And so sometimes it will only get 4 feet. Sometimes it'll get all the way down to 6, 7 feet. Like I said, the deepest I ever fished was 8 feet last time in 15 feet of water. The school, that's how tall the school was. The school started at about 4 feet and it went down at about 8 feet. And Yardley, correct me if I'm wrong, but we looked at how long the school of crappie was 16 feet long. So think about this. Think how many crappie can fit in this. You got a 16 feet long school that's 4 feet tall. So you got a 4 foot tall, 6 feet long, 16 feet long school of crappie. And that's basically what we fished all day. It was unbelievable. I'm so mad that I didn't get footage on it. I didn't know that my SD card was already full. If my SD card wasn't full, then I want to record that so bad. But I did get a little recording on my phone. So when I drop this video, I'm also going to put some of the video that I got on my phone also. Y'all said exactly. So he was there, y'all. He'll tell you. It was 16 feet long, 4 feet tall, just a big pile of crappie. Unbelievable. Chat y'all said, went today and fish were not holding on structures. They were mostly all suspended. Tons of bait fish balls everywhere. That is a fact. I agree. And if, like I said, if you do find crappie and it's a good bite and you find them on structure and they slow down or stop, try pitching your jig. If you don't have LiveScope, try pitching your jig underneath your boat or on the side of your boat. Because most of the time, right now in the summertime, especially in the South, it's 100 something. It's real feel over 100 every day. These crappie are running up under your boat. And if you got LiveScope, you will see that a lot of these crappie are running up under your boat. And that's so crazy. I would have never, like I heard Lamar say it because he has LiveScope. I heard him say it a lot of times. But I would have never known for myself that crappie literally run under your boat during the summertime. And a 16 foot long, 4 feet tall school of crappie. We estimated a good 300 to 400 crappie easily. At least 300 to 400 crappie in a school. And that was the second school we seen that day. 2 different areas of the lake. So, I mean, they were just schooling up. We hit the 2 right. I hit one brush pile and found the school. Then Yarlim hit the other brush pile and found the school. I'm like, look, we 2 for 2. So that's all we had to fish for 2. We really could have just fished 1 brush pile. But the first school, they started traveling. And so what the structure was, in about 30 minutes, we was probably about 40 feet off from the structure we started at with the school. We was moving with the school, so until man, we way off from where we started at. But we was just looking at the school on LiveScope, and just moving with them, dropping the jigs, just plucking them about the water. But the second school that Yarley found, they didn't move. They sat up under the boat the whole day. Like I said, we fished there for about 3 or 4 hours, just sit there till we just got hot and said, okay, that's it. We called it quits. We're gonna leave them biting. We had a great day. Let's leave well enough alone. Let's go home. But it was unbelievable. Unbelievable. And so next time you go fishing, if you got on a hot bite, a quick bite, an active bite, and these crappie are biting, then all of a sudden, boom, not a bite. Try throwing your jig beside your boat or try to get it on your boat and watch what happens. You'll be surprised. Well, y'all have a long week this week. I've actually just made it back home yesterday evening. I've been out of town all week down in McAllen. I have to go back out there this coming up week. So I'm trying to get some rest this weekend. Well, tomorrow we're going out with the kids. Me and my girl going out with the kids, taking them out to Galveston. So if y'all in Galveston, holler at your boy. We'll be out there. So I won't be going fishing this weekend. Chad Jock said, what screen speed you use? I think I only had mine like on 6 on my Humminbird. Oh, on my Humminbird SI on my console, I think it's on 5. I think it's on whatever the factory said. I didn't touch nothing on my Humminbird. Neither one of my Humminbirds, I haven't touched nothing on the settings. I leave my stuff on factory settings. And I think the factory is 5. So what, y'all said be safe. It's been a springtime bite all summer in Houston area. That is a fact, Lamar. It had I would definitely be safe, y'all. But that is a fact. That is a fact what Lamar just said. This year, this summertime bite has definitely been like spring. It's been unbelievable. That's why I say a consistent lake is hard to find something better. Said Camel just said peace, I'm working, no time for typing. LOL of spraying some eyes. All right, brother, man. Y'all have a blessed weekend, man. I'm gonna try to drop this video if I get some time, maybe Sunday before I head to head back out of town. But y'all be easy, y'all be safe on that water. Tight lines. This your boy, Skinny Kenny, the Bronze Star Vet. Double salute.